I want to ask you about Matthew Stafford. That's I think to any football franchise, that is going to be the critical number one situation. Last year, fell off, took a step back. How much of that was Matthew Stafford? How much was that a lack of direction from Matthew Stafford? And how much will Jim Caldwell provide for Matthew Stafford to go in the right direction?
Well, I'll start with the last question, and that is how much will Jim Caldwell provide? And I think Jim Caldwell will provide a ton. That was part of the attraction of Jim, not the sole factor by any means, but somebody who had such a specific plan about what he did with Peyton Manning over the years in Indianapolis, and bringing some of those drills, that entire approach to Matthew's skill set, I think is going to be incredibly valuable for Matthew. Then you layer on the people that he's hired to run his offense. Joe Lombardi from the New Orleans Saints, who was with Drew Brees for a number of years. Jim Bob Cooter, our quarterbacks coach, who was with Peyton
Is that
Manning.
really his name?
It is really his name.
That's really his name.
I still smile when I say it. And I said to him,
have you seen papers?
I happened to be there in the hallway when Matthew Stafford came in to meet Coach Cooter for the first time. And so I was standing in the hallway, the three of us were there, and Jim Bob says to Matthew, "How are you? Nice to meet you. Do you like to be called Matthew, Matt? What do you like to be called?" He says, Matthew. And Matthew turns to him and says, "So, Jim, is it Bob? Is it JB? No, Jim Bob." And so he owns it, and I respect the heck out of that. I respect the heck out of the fact he's a really good football coach, extremely well thought of in Denver, where he spent last year with Peyton Manning and one of our former staff members, Adam Gase, who's our offensive coordinator out there. John Fox, who I saw down at the Super Bowl, said we tried like heck to keep him. Down at the Combine, said we tried like heck to find a way to keep him, but we couldn't give him our quarterback room because they have a talented, experienced quarterback coach in Denver. So we were lucky to get him as well. And I think that the expertise that each of those three men, Coach Caldwell, Coach Lombardi, Coach Cooter, brings to the table is going to help Matthew. And that's to the second question that you asked me, which is how much of this was on Matthew, how much was it on the direction he was given. I think if you asked Matthew, he would take it all on his shoulders. That's the kind of guy that he is. He knows that he can be a better quarterback. He wants to be a better quarterback every step of the way. I think he's a very fine quarterback who's got a fiercely competitive streak to him. His desire is the same desire that our ownership has, that our head coach has, that our general manager has, and that is to win a Super Bowl championship and bring it to the people of Detroit. And he's going to do whatever it takes to get there. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He has been as active in the free agent period as anybody in texting us and finding out what's going on, calling up, how about this guy, what about that guy? He helped us last year recruit Reggie Bush. He helps this year he was on the phone with Golden Tate. So there's nobody more invested in the success of this team than Matthew Stafford.